けていきたいと思います。次は
Kind regards, masses, it's me, Highbike, and I am back with some more Hakuoki Chronicles of Wind and Blossom. The song that we were listening to for pre-stream was Scarlet Symphony, Scarlet Phoneme, from Toho Lotus Land Story. But any Toho fans might have realized that, wait a minute, that song played was a different Toho song. Who put Toho in my Toho? So that was a Timmy Turner's Granddad rip. That is like the Toho sound font, or like, you know, PC98 sound font. But the melody used was Septet for a Dead Princess, which the big brain meme joke here, or joke whatever, because the name of the advertised track is Scarlet Symphony, Scarlet Phoneme, but the theme song that Septet for a Dead Princess belongs to is Remilia Scarlet. She's from the Windows generation of Toho, not the PC98 generation. So there's that connection there, which I thought was neat. And also, Septet for a Dead Princess just sounds cool in the PC98 sound font. I just really like that PC98 sound font. There's something captivating about it. I don't know. But also I do like that this rip does key changes for the song. Like the song will go like up a pitch or two. But yeah, if you would like to listen to that rip, I will leave a link in chat here. And the pre-stream video is part of, I don't know how to say this, but the channel is Dandas. And I was just looking through his channel, and he does a lot of videos like this, but it's one of those ASMR, like those joke ASMR videos where his microphone is like really shitty. So like, you know, there's clearly a lot of feedback in there, and I just think it's funny. It's like he opens his mouth and it's like, oh, it sounds like a bass drop. It's fucking hilarious. I love it. I will leave a link to the source video, but I did initially see this video on my Instagram feed. So, you know, funny stuff. But yeah, how are you guys today? I am pretty great. Kyler and our Magic group, well, we played Magic, and one of the members is it's his birthday today, or well, I should say yesterday, because it's past midnight now. But Kyler and I went to buy cupcakes and candles to put on the cupcakes. Like they were like mini cupcakes. We went to Vaughn's, and we were joking to get, like, they had like these unicorn cupcakes. They were mini as well, but like the frosting is all like rainbow and stuff. And we're like, we should totally get this for him. But we ended up going with chocolate. The frosting was like blue. It tasted good. And then we had a lot of pizza. We got combo, meat lovers, pepperoni, and cheese for the kiddos from Little Caesars. They usually like to get Little Caesars whenever like we have Magic sessions and we want to have food. It's either Kyler or Kyler's bro that picks up the pizza. But we had some insane games today. Pretty much everyone was a threat at some point. But Kyler's bro ended up winning both. But yeah, overall fun stuff. I did get a new deck. I think I mentioned the dragon deck. Kyler and I tested that out last week. But yeah, that was fun. And then I went back, or me and Kyler just watched some more JoJo at the end of the day. We stopped off at the episode, like right when Jotaro and Koichi are investigating like the button left behind by you know, the certain serial killer. And well, yeah, I mean, okay, part 4 spoilers, just really quick. If you're interested in, you know, catching up on JoJo, but you haven't reached part 4, then mute the stream, mute the VOD, whatever, for a little bit. But it's I love Kira's episode, like the serial killer, because like at first he doesn't seem like a stand user or anything. It's just like you know, this guy with a dismembered woman's hand just walking around being like, oh yes honey, let's go get some lunch. And then like he runs into our one of the main characters and it's like, oh no, I have to, or like one of the main characters like, you know, mistakes his sandwich for the hand that was like put in one of the sandwich bags. Like they went to the same place, so it, like we follow this guy trying to get back his hand, and you almost feel sorry for him. It's like you kind of want him to like get the hand back, just because like he wants to live a quiet life. Kira's my favorite JoJo villain because like he doesn't have any like grandiose goals or anything. He just wants to do what he wants to do. Sure, what he's doing isn't really the best thing, but you know, I get where he's coming from. And also, like, he looks like David Bowie, or at least like, you know, his first form, his original form. Well, I say form, but you know, it's it's not anything like oh, I can like transform or whatever. It's but yeah. And like Kyler's just like predicting what's gonna happen as we're watching the episodes, and I'm like, ha ha ha, maybe. But yeah, he is enjoying part 4 so far, and I'm glad to hear that. But anyways, I got the music playing on in the background because we're gonna make this a drinking game stream. And Hakuoki's drinking game prompts, there's a lot. So we will go over that right now. If anyone would like to take part in the drinking game with an alcoholic beverage or a non-alcoholic beverage, you can click on the link, scroll down to the Hakuoki section, and we'll also let you know when to drink. Oh, hold on, gotta adjust the Chrome display. But yeah, oh hold on, is this? Okay, yeah, it's quieter. I like the chicken. Excuse me. Anyways, take a drink every time Yukimura says "huh," every time Yukimura is useless, twice if she angsts about not being able to help more, every time we get a CG, any member of the Shinsengumi appears out of nowhere to save Yukimura in the nick of time, Okita casually mentions killing someone, twice if it's Yukimura, someone completely fails to be fooled by Yukimura's cross-dressing, someone mentions seppuku, twice if they're actually expressing the intention to commit seppuku, Yukimura cries, twice if it happens when someone else is obviously holding back tears, Saito or Yamazaki turns out to have been lurking unseen in the shadows, anyone calls a previously unseen lurker out of the shadows because they could tell all along that a person was there, Yukimura serves tea, Yukimura sweeps, cleaning the place, Hijikata and Kazuma face off, Saito and Amagiri face off, Harada and Shiranui face off, drink a whole bunch when the three above occur at the same time. Someone points out that not having to protect Yukimura would leave the Shinsengumi better off, but the Shinsengumi, or any individual member thereof, insists on continuing to do so anyway. Someone has an episode of Fury Bloodlust. Kazuma calls any member of the Shinsengumi insects or dogs of the shogunate. Kazuma talks about the Furies being fakes. Okita coughs. Okita says, I can still fight. Hijikata says any form of that's in order. Harada talks about how it's a man's duty to protect women and or children. Saito delivers a soliloquy about swords. Heisuke angsts about meeting a monster. Someone drinks Yukimura's blood. Amagiri interrupts and stops a fight. You hear the phrase warrior spirit or Bushi no Tamashi. Someone tells Yukimura any form of I leave, insert whoever's route it is, to you. Hijikata says, Nandato, or what the hell. Every time someone says, seriously, sheesh, don't worry, for real, calm down, omong, white, or thank you so much. Every time I make a wrong choice and I have to go back. Every time a character dies. Every time anyone is loud. 2 drinks if it's Nagakura. Every time alcohol is involved or mentioned. Yeah. Every time Kazuma insists Yukimura should be his waifu. Every time Okita simps for Kondo. Every time the date is announced. And for every grammar or spelling error. But, yeah, that's that. La 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 lava! Chicken! Ooh, Steve's lava chicken! Oh my god, bro, I was just listening to that song on loop while I was, like, taking a quick shower. It's stuck in my head. And also, there's a funny Devil May Cry version that I put in my channel. But, yo, what's up, Jacob? How we doing today? Rip Poporino, killed by JD Vance's rancid vibes. Yeah, so the Pope is dead, I guess? Damn, dude. I mean, honestly, I thought he was gonna die earlier because everyone was all like, the Pope is sick at that one point, and I was like, oh, yup, Pope's gonna die. But then he lived. And I don't know what happened in between them, but now I guess he's dead, so rest in peace. He sounded like a cool Pope from what I remember. I don't really keep up with the Catholic Church or anything too much, but unless I'm forced to go to mass, but he was a good guy. That's what I sensed. Happy late birthday to that person. Oh, our magic friend? Yeah. The viral marketing for Conclave is getting out of hand. Yeah, like the last thing, I mean, aside from the Pope being sick that one time, the last thing I really heard from the church was like that anime mascot or whatever. Luce maybe, or whatever her name is. But yeah. Alright, well, anyways, I'm assuming that you had the drinking game prompts, so we will get a move on. But how are you? How are you doing? Let's see, so let me just turn that off. You were playing some Touhou earlier. Enjoying some more Touhous? Good. Here, let me bring that up. How is the Touhou? And to recap what happened on Hakuoki last time, well, so Yukimura was escaping with, or Yukimura was heading to Osaka Castle with, shit, what's his name? Inoue, I think? You know, the guy who actually has the traditional hairstyle, samurai style hairstyle. And, well, he ended up putting up a fight against not only the Bald Father, but Takeda, who actually isn't dead. Takeda has a demon arm, which Yukimura's father, the Bald Father, helped him get, because, he lost an arm. So, Inoue ended up being dead. And then Iba came to the rescue at some point. Hold on, I don't like this weird white block on the overlay. Let me see if this... I just noticed, like, the last VOD, there was, like, some flickering going on. And that's when I do, like, the direct, game capture. So, the game card capture. So I don't know. If there's any flickering, let me know. I don't like... When I was doing the window capture, like, I noticed, like, some weird white sticking out on the side of the screen, and I'm like, I don't like that. But yeah. You finally got to play Touhou properly. Gotten to stage 4 of 6. Shit is hard as fuck. Are you doing normal mode? Hard mode? But yeah, usually by stage 4 it starts picking up. But I'm glad that you are, getting that Touhou experience. Normal mode, okay. Yeah. Either way, it does pick up in stage 4. Right. Wait. How do I... Oh, right. Other things that happened last stream. So yeah, Takeda is evil. Like, even more evil now. And, Iba came to our rescue after we were being chased down by Bald Father and Takeda. Then, Iba had a face-off with, Takeda, and Iba got his arm cut off. And before anything else could happen to him, of all people, Sen showed up. And she explained to us the whole demon arm situation, and apparently there's another demon arm, and she's like, okay, Iba, we can give you this demon arm so you can fight Takeda's demon arm. So, that's where we're at right now. So we shall continue. Yeah, I'm just surprised. I didn't expect Takeda or Sen to really be big parts of this route, but, that's what we like to see. Because, we barely saw those characters at all in any other routes so far, so... Let's see where we're at. Let me also switch my drinking game prompts to my other screen. Make it easier for me to really keep up with what's going on. Okay, there we go. There. The real problem is that eventually you have to complete stages 1 through 6 without using a continue, or else you don't get a proper ending. Which, yeah, that sucks, because if you're not skilled enough, you won't be able to see. Also, that's a great way to start off the story. I heard the sound of flesh being sliced open, along with a brutal, blood-curdling scream. Then, a man covered in blood burst in, falling to the floor. This man, he was the one who had been guarding the entrance to this building. Sen glared in angrily. We're already at our first drink. Sen glared in angrily towards the forest? I don't think so. Anyways, the drink that I have is Elysian Space Dust IPA. It's part of that variety pack that I got, so I'll drink that. You know, I've never really read these descriptions on these things, but this one apparently has candied grapefruit, mango, and pine as part of the flavor. I can't really tell if that's even in the flavor, but you know, it's IPA. It has that IPA taste, so I'm cool with it. Shortly afterwards, a figure approached us casually. Someone I had no desire to see. Yeah, of course. That's two figures, though. Father! Takeda! What are you doing here? At least you can practice individual stages, can get good at stages 3 and 4 without having to do 1 and 2 every time. That is good, yeah. Yeah, because that just gets annoying if you have to, like, you know, redo everything over again. So cool. Sen had stood in an indignant rage, glaring at my father. Father, however, seemed unfazed. Kimigiku readied her stance, preparing herself to fight Takeda, but... Bro, are you kidding me? We never really get to see her in action, and then... Takeda seemed to move 3 paces quicker. Bruh. Come on, man. The sheer wind pressure from Takeda's sword swing sent Kimiguku flying back. He sneered at Kimigiku's body on the ground and turned to face Iba. Wait, they didn't give him the arm yet, did they? Yeah, right, the wind pressure? That's bullshit. I'm pretty sure Kimigiku's also a demon. Like, bro, come on. Iba drew his sword and tried to attack. Takeda anticipated Iba's blow, intercepting his sword easily. If it came to a fight between the two, then Iba wouldn't stand a chance. Both he and his sword were flung aside. What could I do? I don't know, Yukimoto, you can do a whole bunch of stuff! I knew that I wasn't really any match for Takeda. However, abandoning Iba and Kimigiku to escape was not an option. Hands trembling, I reached for the kodachi at my hip. Thank you. Yes, at least try to put up a fight. God, this is so weird that the person in this route that, you know, gets the water of life is Takeda and not like our main guy. But of course, more could happen. Your tutor session got cancelled yesterday. Sent out an email for one of the old tutoring jobs. If you return to that one, you'll have 3 part-time tutoring jobs. Dang, you are juggling a lot. But yeah, that sucks that it got cancelled. I hope things work out. I had a small window of time to find an opening into which I could strike Takeda. However, a hateful aura radiated from his entire body. I couldn't take a single step forward. Weak! Weak! I had to close my ears, blocking out the hateful thoughts and conquer the fear. Bro? Even if means cutting myself off. Yeah, Yeah, that is a bit of an awkward translation. You could have used an it after if, but so I'll drink for that. This is giving me my excuse to drink. But it does sound awkward. I heard glass shatter. Ooh! There we go. Oh, okay, they did give him the arm. Okay, I guess that happened off screen. Cool. Yeah, there we go. Takeda's eyes were wide with shock.
貴様その腕は一体何だ
It got canceled, or you haven't been able to get enough sessions scheduled. Yeah, that's ass.
なんだとはあなたもよくご存知のはずですね
Ooh. Whoa, the crackling. There is a coldness to Iba's tone. He tightly gripped his left fist. Takeda furrowed his brows, scowling at Iba as his teeth gritted from hatred.
そうか貴様も落ち水
Oh, okay, yeah, so there we go. He also drank the water of life.
そしてその腕を手に入れた貴様も人の血をすする化け物になり果てたわけだ
Oh, there we go, white.
あなたと同じように
Oh, I almost dropped my Joy-Con. Yeah, now we can look at it. Look at him with the white hair. Iba responded stoically, continuing on with a fixed gaze upon Takeda.
ですが一つ伝えなくてはなりません僕はあなたと違い
Yeah, that is true.
この力を得た
You have a session today at 10 a.m. We'll wake up at 9 a.m. for it, but it's okay. You took a nap earlier. Good. Always good to get more sleep in.
同じく腕を失い同じ力を得ても僕たちの目的は違う僕のこの力誰かを守り
Excuse me.
思いを貫くために使う
It almost sounded like a different guy speaking. Or, I don't know, maybe I'm just tripping. Iba gathered his strength and pushed back against Takeda, causing him to step back. Immediately, Iba drew his sword. By the time I blinked, he had already closed the distance between them. Now Iba's got the white hair. Now look at them. Oh, and his demon arm, of course. Their swords danced, too quick to see. The strength and speed accorded to Iba through the water of life, and the demon's arm made this display masterful. Accorded is a word, right? I mean, yeah, I don't really hear accorded used too much, but I'm just looking. Yeah, okay, it is. I've just never really seen accorded used in a sentence before. Okay, I just trying to see when I can drink.
くそ
Interesting that the good guy is the one who gets the special left arm. Yeah, because usually the right arm would be, indicate good. That's what I usually associate it with anyways, but yeah. Interesting indeed. Takeda struggled to keep up with the pace of Iba's barrage of strikes, panting in the frenzy. Though the two had obtained a demon's strength, Iba had the advantage of superior technique. Hehehe.
どうやらこの場では我々が不利なようですなせっかく得た鬼の力をここで失うのは得策ではありませんここは引くのが賢明
Of course, it's not over yet, Snake.
なんだと貴様
Bro.
あの男などいつでも殺せます
Yeah.
こだわっ
Yeah,
て
that'd make things easier
命
for
を落
us.
とすつもりですか
Reluctantly, Takeda heeded my father's words, sheathing his sword back into his scabbard. He shot final, spiteful words at Iba.
今日は遅れを取ったな次こそ必ず貴様の首を取ってやる覚悟しておけ伊庭八郎
Let's retreat instead of Kodo double teaming Iba with Takeda, right? Wait! I rushed up to stop them, but Father and Takeda vanished like mist without a trace. And what does Sen fight or anything? Like what the fuck is she doing? After we had regrouped, we discussed with Sen and Kimigiku about what to do next. We eventually came to a conclusion.
私たちは奪われた鬼の右腕を取り返すためあの二人を追うことにするわ。
Will both of you be alright? Just earlier, it seemed like neither of them stood a chance against Takeda. Yeah, at least Kimiguku was alive. If they were to meet again on the battlefield, how would the outcome be any different?
やるしかないわ。あいつらに殺された里の鬼たちのためにも。
正面から戦って勝利するのは難しいでしょう。成功法ばかりが戦いではありませんから。
Sen and Kimigiku seemed set in their resolve to find him, but I could sense what felt like a little bit of nervousness about what was to come.
何度も言うようだけど、伊庭さん、あなたのその力は決して人の目に触れさせてはいけないものよ。
That's true.
人間相手には絶対にその力を使わないでちょうだい。分かってるわね。
はい、分かってます。
本当なら落ち水なんてものを使うのは認められないのよ。伊庭さんのことだって認めているけど認めているわけじゃないんだから。
Racist.
姫様、何を言ってるのか分かりません。
Thank you, Sen. I don't know how I can ever repay you. I can't thank you enough.
お礼を言われることじゃないわ。もっと別の方法があればあなたの大切な人を羅刹になんてしなくても済んだのに。
それはいい子なしです。少なくともこの戦が終わるまでは。それじゃあそろそろ行きましょうか。
Alright. Please, Sen, Kimigiku, be careful.
この左腕しばらくの間借り受けます。
After we said our goodbyes, we bowed to them, walking out of the village back to Osaka Castle. I had no idea how the fight against Takeda and father would turn out, but for now, ours was another path. All we could do now was move forward, no matter what awaited us. With a newfound resolve for the future, Iba and I made our descent down the mountain. Is this the end of the Kyoto Winds part? Or okay, there's still more. After separating from Sen, we left the Yase village to head towards Osaka Castle. We happened to sneak past what was left of the Sacho troops a few times. We finally arrived at Osaka Castle 4 days after the fighting broke out. We're here. We're finally here. Seeing the majestic castle filled me with an incredible sense of relief.
ここに新選組のみんなが。
Iba looked up, marveling at the grand castle as it loomed over the moonlit forest. He seemed moved and relieved, but also filled with some complicated emotions I couldn't name. Eventually, he turned to look at me. It's weird how the top of the fence perfectly lines up with the top of the stairs. Yeah, that's true, huh?
一つ
They're very straight too, like the gate top. Perfectly cut. What is it? I had no idea what favor he could possibly be thinking of at this time, so I waited nervously for him to continue.
僕が落ち水を口にしたことは新選組の人たちには秘密にしておいてほしいんです。
Of course. What? But I could understand that he may have not wanted his longtime friends to know he'd become a fury, but his health could dwindle in the future, and it wasn't like being a fury was something you could hide forever. However, Iba seemed to read the concern in my face, and he continued.
この先ずっとというわけではありません。時が来れば僕の方から話します。ただ今はまだ
Understandable.
踏ん切りがつかないんです。
Iba watched the moonlight radiate cold light behind the clouds above. Was it for my sake that he seemed conflicted about all of this? How have you been feeling?
今のところ問題ありません。むしろ前よりも元気になった気がしますよ。
Oh, yeah, because you're not supposed to be up in the day. You know how we can defeat Kodo and Takeda. All we need is a notebook. Yeah, we have the right guy for it. And get some potato chips and eat it. That's good. I'm happy to hear it. Iba didn't seem to suffer any of the afflictions that came with becoming a fury or attaching the demon's arm to his body. In my heart, though, I had made a wish, even if I knew it may not come to anything. I had prayed that neither the water of life nor Iba's new demonic limb would do him any harm.
誰か近づいてくるみたいです。
I gasped, looking up to see. Two shadows crept from the distance, walking towards us. It was...
そこにいるのは誰ですか？
Yeah, there's no way it could have been Kodo and Takeda again. Shimada and Soma! Both of you are safe!
雪村先輩、よかった。心配してたんですよ。
I'm fine. Iba saved me and escorted me back here safely.
ありがとうございます、伊庭さん。本当にありがとうございます。
礼には及びません。トイさんたちは無事ですか？
はい。中で幹部大使の方々と今後のことを話し合っているところです。
今後のこと？そうですよね。サッチを迎え撃たなくてはなりませんからね。
After Hachiro offered up his suggestion, Shimada and Soma looked at one another, falling silent.
どうかしたんですか？
After a beat, Iba seemed to catch on to the pause in the conversation.
詳しいことは中でお話しします。
Ruh-roh.
どうぞこちらへ。
That's definitely not good. The war with the Sacho seemed to have filled Osaka Castle with an uneasy atmosphere. Not a single person we walked past was in uniform, nor did they seem prepared to return to the battlefield. Something felt off. We entered the common room.
雪村、無事だったのか。
Hijikata, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to worry everyone.
いや、生きて戻ってきたんだから別にいいさ。
Hooray!
お前と一緒にいたはずの源さんが
Yeah.
てっきりお前も殺されてるから連れ去られちまった。無事でよかった。
The subject I had been avoiding thinking about was brought up. I didn't know what I could say. Inoue. So he did. Such fears had crossed my mind at the time. However, I supposed I compelled myself to put it to the back of my mind. Hijikata looked down, biting his lip.
深い刀傷を受けてる。
Every breath felt heavy, like my lungs had suddenly filled with water. The gentle soul, Inoue. As I had been acclimating myself here, he always gave me so much support. To think someone so kind-hearted died so needlessly. Guilt was beginning to consume me. Hijikata seemed to notice, continuing on.
だが負った傷は全て無効傷だ。たとえ勝ち目がなくても最後まで戦いをやめなかった。今回あれだけ立派な散り様を見せることができたにもやって他に
Although he didn't want to show it, Hijikata was overcome with emotion. His eyes were misty. However, I knew it wouldn't be right for me to say anything.
お前に一つ頼みてえこと。
Yes? What was it?
山崎も今回の戦で
Oh man, Yamazaki too. Oh no! Wait a minute. Uh-oh. I think this is gonna be a canon event.
もしかして お前は見ねえ方がいいかもしれん。
Uh-oh. Hearing even more bad news had sunk what little hope I had into a deep, crushing nothingness. Judging by the way Hijikata had said it, Yamazaki must have been in terrible shape. I understood that Hijikata may have wanted to save me from the reality of it, but... No, it's fine. I will see him as soon as I can. Please, if I may. Hijikata seemed to relax a little. And while I had been hearing about what became of some of my comrades, Iba was celebrating his reunion with Motoyama.
Iba!
Oh yeah, this guy.
よかった。行方がわからなくなってたから、てっきり。
心配をかけてすまない。もう大丈夫だから。
Iba hesitated a little before saying he was fine. It wasn't noticeable, I think, to anyone else.
他の大使たちはどうしたんだ？無事なのか？
ああ、みんなで一緒に大阪城に撤退してきたんだ。今まで土方さんと今後の動きについて話し合ってたんだけど。
Motoyama turned his head to look at Hijikata.
今後の動きの前にまず戦況がどうなっているのかを知りたいのですが。
Hijikata let out a huge breath, gritting his teeth.
ま、俺たちがここに逃げ込んできてる時点で察しはついてると思う。状況はよくはね
ということは、この大阪城に籠城して戦うことになるんですね。
Iba expected Hijikata to agree with him, but both Hijikata and Motoyama fell silent. Hijikata was the one that spoke up.
本来ならそうしてとこだが、守る相手もいねえのに城にこもっても意味がね
え、守る相手がいないというのは？
慶喜公、とっくに船で江戸に戻っちまってるらしい。俺たちも支度ができ次第江戸に向かわなきゃ。
Iba was struck dumb, at a complete loss for words. His gaze fell to the floor.
まさか慶喜公が？
元奥詰めのお前には信じられねえかもしれねえ。今回の戦は本当に信じられねえことばかり起きる。
Iba seemed to be making a concerted effort to appear composed in front of Hijikata. However, it seemed like there was nothing he could say to oppose Hijikata's words. After a brief pause, Iba quietly lifted his head.
本山、遊撃隊も江戸に戻ることになるのか？
まあ、そういうことになる。
トシ様、新選組は今後どうするつもりなんですか？
俺たちだけここに残っても仕方ねえだろ。江戸に戻って体制を立て直すしかねえ。こっちの星大きいな。細かいことは後で話す。僕の方に顔を出してやる。他の奴らも心配してたんだよ。
Oh, yes. You're noticing the flickering? Okay, thank you. Yeah, I don't know why it flickers for this overlay. Yeah. Yeah, see, like, hold on. Maybe if I can adjust this a little bit. Oh, but I don't know, like, then the face cam's gonna be cut off a little bit. I don't know. Well, you know what? It's honestly not too big of a deal. It's just like aesthetic. It's aesthetic that's kind of being messed with here. My heart pounded as the weight of the bad news was sinking in. However, I couldn't sulk forever. Hijikata, Iba, and the men of the Shinsengumi hadn't shown any sign of giving up yet.
それじゃあ我々はそろそろ失礼します。申し訳ありませんでした。
それは何に対する詫びだ。
僕は幕臣ですから。
Iba must have felt guilty for Lord Yoshinobu's actions. He was apologizing on behalf of his master, who had deserted his allies and fled by himself.
俺だって今は幕臣だ。お前に詫びられる筋合いはねえよ。
Iba seemed slightly relieved to hear Hijikata say this, and he smiled in return. Oh. I had found myself speaking out involuntarily, anxious at the thought of Iba leaving me.
どうしたんです？
Iba stopped and looked at me. I had almost apologized instinctively, but I was able to stop myself. I think that if I had actually apologized, it would have brought Iba's mood down again. Iba, I can't thank you enough for everything. Iba smiled kindly in his usual way.
礼には及びません。それよりも例のことは他の人たちには内緒にしておいてくださいね。
I stiffened upon hearing his request, looking around to see that Motoyama had overheard him. No you didn't. You heard nothing. Oh my god, we can't just tell you secrets. This fool.
秘密です。
Yeah, exactly. Oh, yes. Ibo, you fool.
気になるな。まあ、俺たちに関わりがないことならいいけど。
Oh, I was escorting the two of them to the exit when...
あの子が言ってた
Oh shit! Jesus fuck!
もし嘘だったら。
God damn it, Nagakura! Oh my god, yeah, that's 2 fucking drinks. Jesus Christ. Fucking hell. This fucking guy. The secret is our secret photo of Hijikata at the Christmas party. Of course. God, fucking Nagakura, I swear to God. All of a sudden, Nagakura, Harada, and Heisuke came bursting into the common room. Yeah, no shit. Their eyes were fixed dead on me.
よかった。もしあのまま会えなくなっちまったらどうしようかと思ったんだ。
Yeah, no, okay, I can thank Nagakura for waking me up. Yeah, I'm sorry, I was like dozing off. Fuck. Shit. Yeah, that got my adrenaline pumping. Fuck.
どこか怪我してねえか。
No, I'm fine. I'm sorry for worrying you guys. Oh, lack of a period there? That's a drink. Fucking grammar error.
バカ、詫びることじゃねえだろ。無事で本当によかったぜ。
Nagakura, I swear to fucking God, if you... Oh, okay. I thought he was gonna like, be all like, whoa, God, anyways. Iba watched as the Shinsengumi captains gathered around me, but eventually... I watched from out of the corner of my eye, Iba leave... Oh! Okay, yeah, I'm like, what? Yeah, I watched Iba leave with Motoyama. Yeah, that's right. Final chapter! Ooh. At least for Kyoto Wind section. God, fine. Yeah, if I had kept going last stream, I would have been up, like, for another fucking hour, I think. That's fucking ridiculous. And so, the next day came. I was in the middle of organizing some of the medical supplies as Dr. Matsumoto had asked of me. Oh, you clipped that? Good. Yeah, that not scared me, but, like, it just really caught me by surprise. Like, what the fuck? I didn't expect to be bombarded by Nagakura's loud-ass voice right there. Here, hold on. Let me adjust this. Oh shit! Jesus fuck! God damn it, Nagakura. No, my volume isn't as loud, but that's 2 fucking drinks. Jesus Christ. No. This fucking guy. Yeah, hold on. My volume is up a little more. Let me... Oh, shit. It's so fucking funny. Fucking Nagakura, man. I can't with this guy. Yeah, no. I'm just not gonna... that's a good thing that we, you know, changed his volume back to 100. If I ever fall asleep again and he's on screen, I can thank him for that. Anyways, oh wait, I already read that. After finishing up my cleaning, my thoughts lingered on how Yamazaki was doing. He's not doing so hot. Hold on, let me make sure. Yeah, just organizing. I'm like, is she sweeping? She's not. Last night, I checked up on him, but the wounds were serious. According to Dr. Matsumoto, we would know by tonight or tomorrow if he would make it. Excuse me. Resident Evil, except all the zombie noises are replaced with Nagakura quotes. Excuse me, all the loud ones. God, I can imagine. Hijikata seemed prepared for the worst, offering only a worn, tired smile when I reported this to him. The Shinsengumi had sadly experienced some huge blows as an outcome of this war.
こんなところにいたんですか。昨日の今日だというのに。
I was gonna say that sounded loud, but my volume was turned up, so never mind. Nagakura ASMR, right? It really feels like that, that guy from the pre-stream video. Iba.
あなたを探していたんです。
Yeah, that's normal volume.
江戸に戻る前に挨拶ぐらいはしておきたかったから。
Oh, but we're headed the same direction, I think. It didn't seem like he was experiencing any negative effects, smiling softly back at me. How are you feeling? The sun has already risen.
それほど辛くはないようです。こちらも。
I'm still thinking about Nagakura. The fucking loud ass. Iba pulled up his sleeve, showing me his left arm. Even at a glance, it was obvious the arm was not his own. This arm, containing an untold amount of demon power within it, all to keep me safe. As I furrowed my brow looking at it, Iba picked up on my reaction.
あなたが気に病むことではないんですよ。 恨みを晴らす機会を狙っていました。
Yeah, but we didn't expect fucking Baldfather to save him, whatever.
あなたがいなくてもいずれはこうなっていたでしょう。
He stared at me with a stern but gentle expression.
それにもしあの時のことがなければおせんさんは僕に鬼の腕を託してはくれなかったでしょう。
So, Eva, did you break in the demon arm yet?
この腕がある限り戦うことを諦めずに済む。だから僕はあなたに感謝しています。
From the window behind us, the sun was beginning to shine warmly on Eba's handsome face. Oh, I tried to say something. Oh, there we go. That's a drink. CG. There we go.
ほら、日差しの下でも平気でしょ。
Wait, what? Is the demon arm protecting him then? Huh, interesting. But yeah, how nice. As the sunlight made his eyes glisten, Iba kept his calm, kind expression in focus.
だから悲しまないで。私のせいだなんて自分を責めないで。
He may have been lying to keep me from worrying, but even so, his words did lift a little of the anxiety weighing my heart down. Iba, what will you do now?
僕は徳川家の家臣ですから慶喜公がおわすところに行きますよ。
But I wanted to ask how he could, considering Lord Yoshinobu abandoned all the men fighting for him. He answered calmly.
君足らずとも真足らざるべからず。
Huh? Drink.
たとえ主君が主君らしくない行いをしても家臣が家臣らしくない行いをする理由にはならないということです。トシさんたちもきっと同じ志なんだと思います。だとしたら負けていられません。
As Iba spoke passionately, he shined so brightly I could only look away. How they all could retain their composure and senses of self perplexed me. Especially for Iba, being told directly from Sen that he was not allowed to play a great role in the history of mankind. He could not use his arm against other humans. Would he be able to fight in the war, given this condition? As I anxiously thought about the future to come, I couldn't help but feel somewhat depressed. But there was no time for that now. I had to stay positive. Well, I think I should head back soon. As much as I didn't want to see him go. The longer I stayed with him, the harder it would be to see him off, so I turned around and started to leave.
待ってください。もう少しここにいてください。
Stay with me. Huh? Drink again. God, it's so funny every time she's like, huh? My heart skipped a beat as his voice came from behind me, stopping me in my tracks. What had gotten over him? Usually he just watched me tenderly as I left him behind, but never before had he outright tried to stop me. More sunlight peeked through the corner of the window, making Iba squint.
どうして
Oh, now he's
で
sad.
すかね。
Now he's sad. Aww.
君と離れると思うとなぜか
He
心が落ち着かないんです。
he likes her. His voice quivered, and for the first time, Iba seemed vulnerable to me.
胸がざわめいて心が震えて江戸に着くまで守ってあげたかったって。もっと君のそばにいたい。この腕で守りたいって。それだけが心残りです。
When your BF wants to spend more time with you. Huh? Yep, the Yukimoto experience. Iba's eyes turned forlorn after confessing his worries to me, and he gripped his bandaged arm. I couldn't just listen as he beat himself up. Oh, now she's smiling. Okay, I'm like, damn, she's looking all depressed and shit now. Excuse me. We'll see each other again in Edo, right? Like, the moods are switched. Iba quickly turned his head up, taking comfort from my suggestion. Oh, now they're both smiling. There we go.
また江戸で会いましょう。
Yeah, that's more like it. There we go. They're both happy. Iba gave a wry smile, and then a big sigh. Iba held his left arm tightly, almost as if to channel the turmoil bubbling inside him. After a short while, we both stared at the sun, which was completing its morning ascent. There was still so much to worry about, like Takeda, father, and Iba's new demon appendage. Yeah, demon appendage, But even with all of that, Iba and I could share in the beauty of this new day together. Yay! And that is the end of the Kyoto Winds portion for Iba, I'm assuming. Yeah. Yeah, that took pretty much a whole hour. Well, okay, not counting the whole intro, but yeah. Yeah, no, it's good that I cut off where I did last stream, because we would have just been stuck there forever. And there's Iba. Woo! Yeah, no, that's very interesting that, you know, the direction this took, I didn't expect. Like, it's still following the main, yes, we're going to Edo by the end of the Kyoto Winds section, but like, that little side, well, having that part against, like, Bald Father and Takeda, while having Iba here, and it's like, oh, demon arms! Interesting. Like, I'm pretty sure the demon arm thing was, like, added, you know, for the new characters here. Like, I think Iba, and the other new characters here were added for the Kyoto Winds Edo Blossom Steam releases, but I can't remember. But they're definitely new additions, so I don't know. I wonder what the devs were like, you know, what caused the devs to want to like write something like, oh yes, demon arm plot. But it still works. It still fits the story. But yeah, it is cool that every route has like its own thing, like, you know, surprises, uniqueness to them. So I can't wait to see what the Edo Blossom, or the Edo Blossom section has to offer, which we will do, you know, as soon as this ending sequence stops. I will still be here. So we just passed the 1 hour runtime, and I still have beer left. So yeah, we're still going to lock in and play some more. Any minute now. There we go. January 1868. That's a drink for the date announcement. The Battle of Toba Fushimi ended with the Satsuma and Choshu victorious. As the shogunate troops retreated, the Shinsengumi headed towards Edo. 4 years ago, I came to Kyoto all by myself in search for my father and met the Shinsengumi. I was now leaving Kyoto, where I had made such fond memories. He gained the powers of a demon in order to protect me, and I chose to walk alongside him. We would head to Edo without knowing what fate awaited us. So, did Yamazaki die off screen or something? Like, what happened? Oh no, that's... okay. Never mind. Now is gonna be the Edo Blossom section. Alright, look, take us there, take us there. Here we go, Edo Blossoms. prologue. Time for that whole recap. Yeah, fuck it. I'll read the recap. That's fine. Winter 1863. I traveled to Kyoto in order to search for my father, with whom I'd lost contact. I'll count that as a date drink. Yeah. In that city, I bore witness to a horrifying secret hidden within a group called the Shinsengumi, the Furies, creatures with white hair and crimson eyes. Drink for white. Luckily, I was saved from the vicious clutches of the Furies by the members of the Shinsengumi. Since I had discovered their secrets, I ended up living with the Shinsengumi men, as they were also searching for my father. I was given a position as the commander's page, and thus my life with the Shinsengumi began. I'd heard rumors, well, whispers really, that the Shinsengumi were a group of terrifying Ronin, but my life with them proved otherwise. Their commitment to protecting the safety of Kyoto made them the last of a dying breed, true warriors. It set them apart from those who only craved power and status. There he is. Serendipity introduced me to Hachiro Iba, a Bakushin who was serving in the city of Kyoto. As we grew acquainted through his frequent visits to the Shinsengumi, I remembered the fact that we'd been friends as children. No, Kyler doesn't know about the Dwayne scans. I think I'll show them to him once we're finished with part 4, so he'll be like, what? What is this? What the fuck? However, the winds of change were blowing. Anti-shogunate sentiments were spreading throughout the country, and the war between the shogunate and the Satsuma Choshu seemed inevitable. Then finally, the Battle of Toba Fushimi began. An ex-captain of the Shinsengumi, Kanryusai Takeda, had come to loathe Iba, and each warrior had an arm brutally severed in 2 separate duels. In order to continue to fight in the war, Iba drank the water of life, becoming a fury. He then fused one of the demon's arms to his shoulder. Although Iba had triumphed over Takeda, the battle itself resulted in a defeat for the shogunate allies. After parting ways with Iba at Osaka Castle, I departed for Edo alongside the Shinsengumi men. Here we go! Time for the cool opening sequence! I wonder if you wait on the title screen long enough, or I don't know, no, we haven't seen that, but why doesn't it play the Edo Blossoms part? Because every time I open the game, it's like the Kyoto Wind section, or opening, I think, right? But oh well. Is Iba in this? I can't remember. Let's see. Oh yeah, they are. Okay, so he gets a Western uniform too. Interesting. Ooh. Yeah, that's spoilers for that one guy. Or honestly, any of the guys we haven't done routes with, but whatever. It's how anime openings are. Damn, why do Hakuoki openings always, like, go so hard? I'm really curious to see what Kazuma's route's gonna be like. But I feel like I should save him, like, towards the end. I don't know. I might... We'll see. Because I don't really like Kazuma that much anyways, so it's like, you know, I want to do the characters I'm interested in. Like, you know, do them first. We'll go by, like, most interested to least interested. And then, like, the Forever Alone route I'm interested to try out, too. And then we'll end with Hijikata's route, absolutely, because Hijikata's route is adapted in every fucking adaptation of this game series. It's always Hijikata's route, so yeah. February 1868, that's a drink. It had returned to Edo alongside the Shinsengumi, beaten and battered after the Battle of Toba Fushimi. Upon first arriving, our forces gathered at an inn reserved for Hatamoto, called the Kama Inn, but by the end of January, thanks to Hijikata, the Shinsengumi were permitted to use a shogunate-run mansion as their new headquarters. Any sign of Iba anywhere? Like...
雪村君、今日松本先生のところに行っていたということですが、怪我をした大使たちの様子はどうでしたか?
Thankfully, according to the doctor, none of them are in critical condition. For Kondo, however, it looks like his shoulder will need more time to recover. Wait, so is Yamazaki okay?
そうでしたか。わかりました。副長にもそう伝えておきます。
By the way, Shimada, how is Hijikata doing?
副長は薩長との再戦の許しを得るため、連日江戸城に登城なさっています。幕臣の方々からはなかなかいい返事をいただけない様子で。
Maybe I'll reconsider ending on something more interesting than Hijikata's route. Like, maybe I'll save Kazuma for last. I just don't want to end on, like, the Forever Alone route, cause that's just depressing. And I don't want to end on the depressing thought. The reason why I was thinking Hijikata's route last is because, well, I want to experience all the new stuff first. And then, like, Hijikata, like, we all know how his route is. Unless adaptations have left out, like, maybe certain details. I mean, like, but that's, like, minor stuff. But, yeah, that's why I was thinking, or, like, you know, initially Hijikata's route should be last. Because it's like, we already know. Excuse me, we already know what his route is like.
それでは、俺はそろそろ失礼します。
Oh, yes. Thank you very much. Shimada bowed briefly, about to leave the common room, but he stopped as if he remembered something and turned around.
そういえば、今まで言うのを忘れていましたが、ありがとうございます、雪村君。
Huh? Why are you thanking me? I haven't done anything. Bro, you've been helping out here. Also, that's a drink for Ho.
俺一人ではきっとこれだけの仕事をこなすことなどできなかったと思います。大使ではない君にいろいろと用事を頼んでしまって申し訳ない気持ちはあるのですが、それ以上にありがたいという思いの方が強いので、今のうちに伝えておこうと思って。
Gosh, you don't have to thank me for that. I should be the one thanking you. You all have been taking care of me for so long. It's the least I can do.
そう言ってもらえると助かります。それでは、俺はこれで。
Shimada's face had turned a little red, as if he was a little sheepish at my words, and left the room. Ever since we'd lost Yamazaki during the Battle of Toba Fushimi. Okay, so it did happen off screen. God damn it. Shimada had shouldered the duties of the watch all on his own. Gosh! Both Nagakura and Harada were still out of sorts after the devastating defeat at Toba Fushimi, and they often went into town to drink. I'll take that as an alcohol reference. Big oof, right? I know, I had a little bit of hope that maybe Yamazaki would be alive, but of course, canon events just refused to keep him alive, except for in his own route. As for Heisuke, I'd seen him roaming the compound after dark, lost in thought. He didn't seem to be in the mood for conversation, so I refrained from going up to him. Oof. I know, it really sucks that Yamazaki got hit with the off-screen death. Like, come on, man, he deserves better. Saito was busy helping care for the injured by finding them places to recuperate in and heeding Dr. Matsumoto's guidance. I knew that it couldn't be helped, but the Shinsengumi was beginning to drift apart, fraying ever so slightly at the seams. More than anything, what tugged at my heart was Iba! Yeah, there we go. Not having had a chance to reunite with Iba, whom I hadn't seen since our bittersweet farewell at Osaka Castle. Having become a fury, he should have been finding it difficult to withstand the light of the sun. Was he able to manage his duties as a Hatamoto? I should write him a letter, when I had the time. Surely Dr. Matsumoto would give me the proper address if I asked. Several days later. I was mending clothes in my room when I heard my sliding door open, and then...
雪村、ここにいたのか。
Oh, hello Saito. Can I help you?
松本先生からあんた宛ての手紙と。
Oh, let me guess, it's from Iba. Saito pulled a letter along with a small wrapped pouch from his pocket. Oh, thank you.
確かに渡したぞ。
Bro. Bro really announced my job is done here. Saito spoke curtly and left my bedroom without another word. I tore open the letter. It was a reply to the one I'd sent a few days prior, as well as details about a medicine he'd created to satiate the Fury's bloodlust and his hopes that I would make use of it. Upon reading this, I rushed to open the small pouch. Its contents included a few tiny wrapped bags of compressed powder, which I took to be the medicine. Dr. Matsumoto warned, however, that the medicine provided only a temporary reprieve. That's interesting. I don't remember him directly giving her the medicine. It's usually like, give this to whoever, you know, whoever's route it is, because you're a Fury now and you need this medicine. But that's interesting. As of now, there was no way to fully eradicate the bloodlust. My father had dedicated almost the entirety of his time in Edo to researching the water of life. You want to see a pic of Osaka Castle edited to be made of Osaka's open-mouthed smile? That would be interesting to see as an edit. Perhaps he could point us in the right direction. Or so Dr. Matsumoto hypothesized. His time in Edo. Matsumoto, keep that shit away. It only gives bad endings, right? Perhaps documents pertaining to the water of life could be stashed somewhere in my old childhood home. Just as the thought crossed my mind. Is it him? I knew that voice. Bro. I frantically stuffed the letter and pouch into my pocket and bolted towards the entrance. When I reached the gate, my heart jumped, seeing that the person calling out was... Hey! Damn. Well, not a while in our perspective of the game. I'm surprised he showed up so quickly, though. Oh my god! Iba! Out of breath, I called out his name, and he pulled out a letter from his pocket. I thought, yeah, I may as well see you in person. Yeah. Oh, how sweet of him. How are you feeling? Doesn't the sunlight make you feel unwell? Huh, interesting. I wonder if the arm is helping him with that. I see. That's a relief. Iba was incredibly resilient, at times to the point of stubbornness, so there was a chance that he could simply be feigning feeling well for my sake, but as far as I could tell from his complexion, he didn't seem to be straining himself too much. Even so, the direct sunlight must be bothering him. Would you care to come in? I can brew you some tea if you'd like. Yes, and I can drink for the tea. I brought out tea and some confectionaries for Iba. Oh, like when we first met. But yeah, that's a drink for the tea serving. After he'd had a sip of tea and a bite of one of the sweets, Iba spoke up.
もしましたか？
Nope. No. The last I've seen of him was back at Toba Fushimi.
それを聞いて安心しました。まだ油断はできませんけどね。しかし今日の短所に比べると随分静かですね。他の方々は？
They've all been so busy lately. Most of the men are out working. Justin Bieber? Oh no. Especially Hijikata. He's either locked up in his room writing letters to the shogunate Bakushin, or he's out somewhere in Edo Castle delivering them. Excuse me. Iba?
はい。何でしょう？
I'm not sure. That's what I was asking you. You seemed lost in thought.
ええ。まあ、いろいろと考えることがあって。すみません。せっかくあなたと一緒にいるのに考え事なんてもったいないですよね。
Well, no, I didn't mean it like that. What was Iba so concerned about? Was it how the shogunate had been so thoroughly defeated in Toba Fushimi, or was it his new status as a fury? Or perhaps he was still adjusting to the demon's arm. If it was the latter, then the cause was his battle with Takeda, born from a deep-seated grudge between them. In short, I was the one responsible. Bro, don't blame yourself. Was there anything I could do for him? I recalled the letter and medicine that Dr. Matsumoto had sent me. Iba, actually, I received some medicine from Dr. Matsumoto. Yes, apparently it has the power to suppress bloodlust. Don't use it! I hope Virgil doesn't show up. I know, right? According to him, though, it isn't a perfect cure. I guess curing bloodlust isn't feasible right now, but I thought of something. If we were to search through my house, we might be able to find some of his research notes to aid the process. If we could find some more information on the water of life, then should Iba be afflicted with bloodlust, we'd be able to deal with it. I know this is sudden. Do you have somewhere to be today? At first, Iba was silent. Of course he wants to make time for me. Give me your demon arm. No way! You got your own. Well, I want yours too. Yeah, for real. I know, that's why I got Nero as the face cam here.
三男さんや東堂君のために詳しい資料を手に入れておきたいところですよね。わかりました。僕も一緒に行きましょう。
Alright, but first, let me get approval from Sannan. Fuck Sannan, you don't need approval from that motherfucker. I'll be just a minute, so please excuse me. I headed to Sannan's room.
報道さんの資料を探しにですか。大したものが見つかるとは思えませんが、まあいいでしょう。
Why is DMC dialogue so memeable? Good question. Well, I mean, the focus of the game is really just for, like, you know, the action gameplay. So it's like the dialogue. I mean, yeah, they have story, but it's like, oh yeah, we'll not, you know, really make this too serious because, you know, you're supposed to have fun with it. So I think, you know, that's got to be why they make memorable dialogue.
伊庭くんが護衛してくれるというのなら危険な目に遭うこともないでしょうしね。
I bowed gratefully to Sannan, and so Iba and I set out to my old home. Okay, I'm glad that Sannan was being sus this time. Wow. It had been quite some time since I saw my old home. I couldn't help myself from exclaiming. There were overgrown weeds everywhere, giving it such a lonely air. I'm not sure what I expected, but I didn't think the house would fall into disrepair so quickly. How long has it been since you've been here, Iba? Can you remember back that far? Oh shit, you know it's serious when the music stops. Iba?
ああ、すみません。久しぶりなので懐かしくて。
Weed. I know, the weed got me all tongue-tied. Hmm? I understood there being a lot to take in, but the look on his face didn't strike me as simply nostalgia. He seemed to be worried about something. Something he didn't seem ready to share with me. I stepped on the weeds as I walked and slid the front door open. Iba, right this way. I have to apologize for the mess, though. I know, Iba actually saying the hall, I'm like, oh, Yukimura time? Oh, just kidding.
はい。それじゃあ、お邪魔します。
I had no idea what had gotten him into such a mood. As his childhood friend, I wished I knew so I could help him, if at all possible. Afterwards, we looked through the notes and documents in Father's room. Unfortunately, neither of us found anything useful. None of this is of any use. I'm so sorry, Iba. You took time out of your day to help me, and we don't even have anything to show for it.
あなたが謝ることじゃありませんよ。気にしないでください。
His face was dark somehow, as if a cloud had passed over his usual gentle expression. It might not have been my place to ask, but I couldn't stand it any longer. Did something happen, Iba?
何かというのは。
You seem to be in a strange mood lately, or today. Would you like to talk about it? I could help you work through it. The characters apologize and thank people so damn much. That's just Japanese culture. But if you don't really want to talk about it, then you don't have to, of course. Iba's eyes shifted away from me, and it felt like he was pulling away.
すみません。あなたに落ち込んだ顔なんて見せたくなかったんですけど、このところ幕府の重臣の方々と意見の違いを感じることが多くて。
You haven't seen eye to eye? How so?
江戸に戻ってきてからトシさんは連日江戸城で幕臣との面談を重ねていますが、今の幕府には薩長との間にこれ以上波風を立てたくないと考える人間が多いんです。トシさんが何度面談を申し込んでも平気で約束を保護にしたり、あちこちたらい回しにしたり。
The apologizing and thanking seems even more pronounced in this game. It does feel like that, yeah, because it feels like it pops up every so often. What? In the past, the shogunate, along with some domain officials, had written off the Shinsengumi's attempts to legitimize themselves in the public sphere. The shogunate was on the brink of collapse, and yet, still, they gave them the cold shoulder. This explained why he seemed so crushed.
同じ幕臣として
Oh.
恥ずかしいです。名家の出だ、旗本だと言いながら、皆考えているのは保身ばかりで、誰一人として薩長の謀反を咎めようともしないなんて。
Iba. Iba had always been a straightforward, honest, and righteous gentleman. For him to be unable to act upon his ideals and sense of justice, I couldn't imagine how difficult this must have been for him. What should I say to him? Damn, our first choice! It's been so long! Alright, we'll make sure to save over here. I'm going to... Hijikata will figure something out. Yeah, because IC just doesn't really help much. Don't be so hard on yourself, Iba. I'm sure that Hijikata will work something out. This isn't the first time the Shinsengumi has been treated this way, and it certainly won't be the last. My words had seemingly gotten through to Iba, and his expression finally softened. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I see. Just seems so lackluster. Wouldn't help at all.
トシさんはこれぐらいの苦境で音を上げるような人ではありませんし。
Seeing Iba offer a genuine smile in response made my heart race, and relief washed over me. Yosh. I'm so glad.
何がです？
To tell you the truth, I was worried about you. You didn't seem like your usual self earlier, but that smile is more like it. You're beginning to look like the Iba I remember. Hi, Jaker. You know, all of that explains so much. I could imagine feeling pretty anxious about that too. Iba shied away from me all of a sudden, turning his head off to the side.
悩んでいた理由はそれだけでもないんですけど。
Oh, damn, he's so quiet. What else is there? I wondered what was wrong. Perhaps it was something I wasn't supposed to ask him about. Yeah, he's all like, I like you. I've liked you for so long. Before I could ask him, however, Iba suddenly grabbed my hand. Oh? He turned and pushed me up against the wall. Damn, dude, direct. I was bewildered at his sudden action. Iba? What are you doing? I'm sure it's gonna zoom out, so I'll wait. My heart jumped. I was so nervous, even breathing felt difficult. He didn't answer. We were face to face, and he didn't even blink as our eyes locked together. There was some sort of heat dwelling within them that I had never seen before. He horny. Eventually, he softly closed his eyes and brought his lips slightly closer to mine. And that's, yeah, a drink for the new CG here. I froze, shocked. This wasn't the Iba I knew. I tried to push him off of me, but he was holding me down with incredible strength. At this rate, as I braced myself, he gasped. Then, Chowder, this demon arm got me acting unwise! Oh, Iba jerked back, his face pale and rigid from shock. He dropped my hand like it had burned him. You horny. Oh. He was back to his normal self. Boo. Yeah, come on. Claim her. It's fine. Iba was so flustered I didn't know how to respond. My heart was pounding so hard it felt like it could leap out of my chest at any moment. I never expected Iba, of all people, to try and kiss me. And more. What on earth was this all about? What could have caused him to? Questions swirled in my mind. Iba seemed as disturbed as I was, so I thought it better not to ask. Bruh, come on, man! Don't you like each other? Bruh! Oh my god. They're not addressing it. Come on, what is this bullshit? Yeah, Yukimura what? Literally, dude, what? You're right. Let's go. I was taking a last look around the house when... Oh, wait, bloodlust? Iba crumpled to his knees with a strangled cry. Yeah, me too. Iba? Yeah, of course everything's not fine. Could this be... Iba, is this... Do you need blood? Excuse me, his shoulders jerked unexpectedly. Oh wait, this is a bloodlust episode, so that's a drink. His expression was enough to affirm my suspicions. Judging from his reactions, this was not his first time experiencing bloodlust. I remembered the medicine Dr. Matsumoto had sent and dug into my pocket to grab it. According to his letter, it could temporarily suppress the symptoms. I knew, though, that this medicine was merely a short-term solution. It didn't fix the root of the problem. If he drank my blood, it would most likely make him feel better. But what should I do? Give him blood. I will open up a guide for him just to make sure, but here, I'll save here. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, I gotta do this for all the others. Hachiro, Iba, Edo Blossoms. Guide. Yeah, that's right. Oh yeah, I mean, oh yeah, here we go. I knew this likely wasn't what Iba wanted, but even so. Iba, come here. Drink my blood. Excuse me, hold on. I gotta pull up the other Edo Blossom guide so I can compare. Excuse me. Chug, chug, chug. Chug, chug. Okay, there we go. As the words escaped my mouth, his eyes snapped to me, aghast. But the longer you wait, the more it hurts, right? Don't worry about me. I'll heal. Please, just do it. Do it! And that's a drink for don't worry.
そういう問題ではありません。僕は血飲んで飲みたくはない。そんなことをするぐらいなら狂い死にした方がよほどマシです。
Iba was terribly stubborn, but as the blood drained from his face and he seemed on the verge of collapsing altogether, I decided that I'd had enough. I couldn't sit here and watch him do this to himself. I drew my kodachi and slid the sharp edge against the nape of my neck. Hijaker! Whoop! Ow! I felt a hot sting and blood trickled down my neck. Please, Iba, before the cut seals back up. Frothing at the mouth, not the rabies! The sight of me harming myself seemed to bring him far more pain than the bloodlust. She went for the neck this time, right? Damn, dude. What if she makes an accident? And then she fucking dies. What if I want to see that, though? I nodded silently. After a moment of hesitation, Iba wrapped his arm around me gently, carefully, as if he were afraid of hurting me. Well, damn, dude! I let out a faint moan, and I felt his pained breath ghost over my wound. So that's 2 drinks, because he's drinking blood, and then we also have a CG, so... Oh, there we go. Yeah, I was thinking it was gonna be more full. Chug! 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 Oh, yeah. Look at that. Yukimura's blushing, too. She's into it. No, I'm fine. This is nothing. I didn't want him to feel guilty, so I denied it, but... She's totally looking at him, though. It kind of looks like a lazy eye situation, but yeah, she's totally looking. It pained me to think of how Iba must be feeling right now. However, I wanted to relieve him of his pain, even just a little. Eventually, I could feel Iba's breathing start to stabilize. You seem to be feeling better. Good. That's what I wanted. Iba swallowed his words and wiped off the blood at the corner of his mouth. In truth, Iba did not want to drink my blood. Maybe I had crossed some boundary between us by offering. By the time we made it back to the compound, the sun had long since set. Long since set.
今日はこれでいろいろと
Oh, it's okay, but I like that. I mean, oh, don't say that. I'm just happy I was there for you. But Iba still looked uneasy. The two of us exchanged timid bows, and Iba walked away. As I watched his back shrink in the distance, the evening's events all came rushing back to me. The flashback. Why would Iba do such a thing? Hold on. You know what? Even flashback CGs I will count as a drink. Because it's still a CG. Why would Iba do such a thing? No matter how I looked at it, he hadn't been his usual gentle self. The arm has changed him. If Iba hadn't gotten a hold of himself, then we would have... Just thinking about it made me blush. I quickly tried to shake away the thought. Damn, you horny too, bitch! Had something gotten into him? Or did Iba... Did he have feelings for... Bruh! Yukimura is so fucking dense, dude. February 1868, that's a drink. Orders came from the shogunate for the Shinsengumi to march to Kofu as the Koyo regulatory company. Once word of the new orders spread throughout the ranks, the soldiers started to prepare. Oh, okay, they've got the uniform switches now. Alright, I'm ready. From this battle onwards, they were to fight in westernized uniforms. It was an unexpected change. I barely recognized any of the Shinsengumi men in their new attire. As for me, I had been ordered to remain in Edo. Even so, they didn't think it safe for me to stay alone with the Fury Corps, who also stayed behind. If only she were as good at picking up on hints as she is at announcing dates. Dude, for real, she's on point with the dates, but picking up dates? I don't know, Chief. So it was decided that I would stay with Iba until they returned. That's true, apologizing. She does that a lot. Oh shit, I think so. Yes, when we were children, it was Iba who had often visited us, not the other way around. What? Oh shit, he's poor as shit, I bet. What do you mean by that?
Toshi-san, 待ってましたよ。中へどうぞ。
I don't know, it seems like a big place. Iba was waiting for us outside of what could only be described as a palace. Damn, I thought he was gonna be poor. He's fucking rich. Is some... Oh, no, that's him. Never mind. You want Yukimura to pin Iba next time? Me too. But, let's be real. Yukimura's never gonna fucking pin anyone. She's like so... She is so sub. Jesus. Hijikata was right. I was so entranced by the sheer size of Iba's estate, I was at a loss for words. This wasn't the headquarters, but Iba's house. I suddenly grasped Iba's status. Oh, duh, yeah, that's right, the firstborn son of a Hatamoto family, and the successor to his dojo.
そんな驚かなくてもいいのに。僕はたまたまこの
Oh,
家に生まれただけなん
Iba.
ですから。
Your house is so big. Oh, baby, that's not the only thing that's so big. Look at the size of it, right?
さあ、入ってください。今日は
Of course, Motoyama. As Hijikata and I stepped foot inside of Iba's elegant home, Motoyama rushed to stand and greet us.
あ、
This dude.
どうもご無沙汰してます。土方さん。
You know, this route has pretty much all been new stuff, like, just like exclusively, or at least from what I remember. Like, there's not really anything that we experienced from previous routes, so that's cool. Excuse me.
必要はねえよ。普通にしてろ、普通に。
これでも一応普通にしてるつもりなんですけど。
軍兵衛さんの姿が見当たらねえが。
Gunbei? Who the fuck is Gunbei? Hold on, I have to look that up. 8th generation instructor of the Shingyoto style. Hashiro Iba's adoptive father. He's adopted? What?
はい。今この屋敷にいるのは僕と何人かの使用人ぐらいです。
だとよ、雪村。気兼ねする必要もなさそうだし、ちょうどいいじゃないか。
Cool. Oh, yeah, I can spend plenty of time with Iba then. Quality time. I sincerely appreciate your generous hospitality.
こちらこそよろしくお願いします。
Iba flashed a genial smile and turned over to Hijikata to address him directly.
トシさん、今回の戦に勝つ見込みはどれくらいなんですか？
He was born into it, but he has an adoptive father, right? Like, that's a twist there in and of itself. What is his story?
そいつはちとわからねえな。城さえ取られなきゃ負けはしねえはずだが。鳥羽伏見の時と同じで、戦ってのはやってみなきゃわからねえところもある。
そうですか。本当ならあなた方だけに戦わせるのではなく、幕臣の我々が率先して範を示すべきなのでしょうね。それなのに。
お前ら旗本の役目は将軍を守ることだろう。それに暴れる機会はすぐ来るさ。俺たちが使ってやる。
はい、信じています。
そんじゃ雪村のことをよろしく頼んだぞ。
With that, Hijikata quickly took his leave. You wish Motoyama's sprite vibrated like Mikuru's. Yeah, huh? He has that Mikuru vibe, I feel that. After Hijikata's departure, Iba stared at the floor and showed no signs of looking up.
なあ、だ。元気を出せよ。確かに今の幕府のやり方には俺だって納得してないけど、あの土方さんがああ言ってたんだ。俺たちが幕臣らしく戦える機会はすぐ来るさ。
はい、分かっています。
However, Motoyama's optimism fell on deaf ears. It seemed Iba's long face was due not to the shogunate's lack of leadership or the Bakushin's reluctance to participate in a war. There is no turning back. You will no longer be allowed to interfere with human history. And that, you know, with the quote being like lowercase there, maybe it's a direct rip. I won't drink for that. Whatever. I was sure it was caused by Sen's words that Iba had carved into his heart. Even if the Bakushin were to change their minds, Iba would be forced to observe from the shadows, forbidden from entering the fray. I carefully chose how I'd wanted to respond. Iba? Since I'll have to remain in your care for some time, I would be more than happy to help with chores around the house, or prepare you dinner whenever you'd like. All you have to do is ask. I wonder if, like, the Shinsen, like, Hijikata picked up on, like, you know, Yukimura and Iba being so close, where it's like, yeah, no, that's why you're staying with him. Sen doesn't have to know. True.
へえ、よかったじゃないか、イバ。雪村さんの手料理だって。
He's in on it too, huh? Is there anything specific you'd like to eat? Don't hesitate to let me know.
いえ、あなたは客人ですし、そんなことをさせるわけには。
なんだよ、遠慮しなくてもいいのに。誰にも邪魔されず新婚気分を味わういい機会じゃないか。
Newlyweds? Damn, newlyweds.
元山、何を言ってるんですか。彼女が僕のお嫁さんになんて。僕はまだ
Oh,
修行中の身ですよ。
don't beat yourself up, Eva. He is perfect husbando material. Yes, what he said. I'd never be good enough for Eva. Yeah, I don't know Yukimura. I don't know about you, but
自分なんかじゃ相手に釣り合わないって言ってるわけ。もう心が通い合ってるってことか。仲が良くて羨ましいよ。
I'm glad that Motoyama is our wingman.
That was truly
お手間虫はそろそろ退散する。
Bruh. Motoyama! I sought desperately to clear the air, but with a gleeful smile, Motoyama pranced out of the room. Bruh. Iba and I were left alone, letting the bouncing echoes of the past conversation fill the room's vast, empty space.
さっきの言葉は気にしないでくださいね。
What he said?
ですから、新婚だとか。
That's what he totally wants, dude.
元山はああいう悪い冗談が好きなんです。
Iba's incessant politeness was making it more awkward. Yes, I understand quite well. It reached the point that I couldn't look up.
とりあえずあなたの部屋に案内しますね。こっちです。
Iba fumbled as he stepped around me, and I took a deep breath before following him. Afterwards, the two of us ate supper before going to rest in our respective bedrooms. I found it impossible to sleep as my attention was drawn to the room's extravagant decor. I wondered if Iba was having any difficulty sleeping. I tossed and turned, unable to get my mind off. Considering what I knew about Furies, traveling in sunlight should have been a strenuous ordeal for Iba. Despite this, I couldn't see any trace of pain or discomfort in his demeanor. It was a testament to his strength of will. However, just like I had seen in members of the Shinsengumi's own Fury Corps, the bloodlust had already reared its ugly head. I had to do something, anything, before it was too late. I shut my eyes tightly and suddenly, it was dawn. Good morning. Hope you don't mind, but I prepared some breakfast for you. I'll bring it out right away.
ありがとうございます。なんだか慣れなくて妙な感じですね。あなたが僕の家にいるというのは。
Damn, he's so quiet. A little. I couldn't shake what Motoyama had said yesterday. That, in staying here together, it was as if Iba and I were newlyweds.
ごちそうさまでした。どれも本当に美味しかったです。
Really? I can't tell you how much that means to me. And with that, it finally felt like things were back to normal between us. Iba? You seem fine, but doesn't walking around in sunlight hurt you? Don't you feel weaker at all?
辛くないと言えば。
Then from now on, I can take care of things during the day, like welcoming guests and receiving the post. I want you to get all the rest you can.
でも、
Also, he's been faking it this whole time? Damn, dude. Of course. It's the least I can do in return for you keeping me safe in your home.
ありがとうございます。あなたは本当に優しい人ですね。
One evening, a few days later. Damn, I thought she was gonna be like March 1868.
美味しかった。雪村さんって本当料理上手なんだね。
Oh, please.
いや、すごく美味しかったって。でも、これからどうするんだよ、イバ。あんなに美味しいものを毎日食べてたら。
Bro. Yeah. Yeah, Motoyama's kind of funny.
何を言ってるんですか。どうしてすぐ話をそっちの方向に。
せっかく星が綺麗な夜
Bro, she's so close.
この後パーッと飲みに出かけることにしようぜ。
Oh, drink alcohol mention. That's a drink. Motoyama threw his arm around Iba's shoulders, egging him on despite Iba's visible unwillingness. One of Iba's servants spoke from behind the door.
どうしました？
Oh, Hijikata.
トシさんから見せてください。
The servant hastily slid the door open and handed Iba the letter. Excuse me. Motoyama and I were silent, watching the servant bow politely before closing the door behind them. Iba delicately opened the letters and scanned its contents. Yeah, that is... It's just one letter! Ugh! Here, that's a drink. Grammar error. As his eyes traveled down the page, Iba's frown became deeper and deeper.
どうしたんだよ、イバ。その手紙には何が書いてあるんだ？
Without saying a word, Iba shut his eyes and passed it over to Motoyama. The room was silent, save for the paper wrinkling in Motoyama's hand. Before Motoyama finished reading, however, Iba shot up and stomped out of the room. Oof. Iba, wait! Whatever was in that letter had clearly unsettled Iba, and I couldn't help but feel worried. I ran after him. Iba stormed off into the night, seething rage rolling off of him in waves. Iba! What did the letter say? Suddenly, Iba halted in his tracks, turning to face me. His expression was tense and tight. I held my breath as I awaited his response. Oh shit.
新政府軍と戦い敗れたそうです。
They had lost?
幕命を果たせずに終わった今、江戸にとどまることができない。ですからこの後、大使たちを率いて会津を目指すと。ですから今後もしばらくあなたのことを頼みたいと、そう書かれていました。
Iba resumed his brisk pace, and I followed after him. Eventually, I realized he had led me to the Hatamoto mansion where the Shinsengumi had recently resided. The halls were eerily silent. Neither Sannan, Heisuke, nor the rest of the Fury Corps were anywhere to be found. Oh, is it happening again? Iba grit his teeth as he tightly balled his hands into fists. The tips of his fingernails dug into his palms so intensely that I was certain he'd break the skin. Oh shit. His voice reverberated throughout the empty halls, and he yanked out his sword from its sheath. Bruh. Ibo began swinging his sword wildly, as if he were attacking all his frustrations, his anger, his dismay. It was as though he were possessed by something. I held my breath. Why had he taken it so personally? Was this just anger at the fact that the Shinsengumi had lost, or was it something else? He took a minute to catch his breath as he lowered his weapon. Why are you so... I asked him a question timidly, and through panted breaths, he offered his response.
新選組はトシさんたちは新政府組に勝つことを期待されて甲府へ行かされたわけではないんです。
So, what were they sent for, then?
幕府の教授派は彼らをわざと江戸から遠ざけたんです。
It's a conspiracy!
新政府軍に江戸城を明け渡すとき
Shit.
邪魔にならないように。
Iba must have known for some time about the possibility of Edo Castle being handed over without a fight. And upon hearing this news, he finally understood how the shogunate intended to go about it.
今まで命を懸けて幕府のため慶喜公のために戦ってくれた彼らを幕府は無残に切り捨てたんです。これが徳川の家臣のすることか。日頃新選組の人たちを散々見下しておきながら戦いもせずに江戸城を明け渡すことが。
Damn, dude. Yeah! I'd never seen Iba seethe with such anger. Finally, he heaved one last breath before shutting his eyes and muttering softly. I wonder, if Iba had never fused the demon's arm to his body, would he have been able to make a difference? You cannot interfere with human history. Nah, no way, bro. You cannot interfere with human conflict. That was the promise he'd made in exchange. If he hadn't agreed to these conditions, then perhaps he could have fought alongside all of his dear friends. No, his desire to do so must surely still be there. What could I say to comfort him? Ooh. Oh, hold on. I accidentally changed my drinking game prompts. Okay. Well, we'll save right here. And I'm gonna guess you aren't the same. Excuse me. You aren't the same as them. You just aren't. Hi, Jager. No matter what anyone else thinks, I know how much this has been tearing you apart. I know how much you respect Hijikata and the rest of the Shinsengumi men. You didn't abandon them or leave them to die. You did no such thing. Leave them to die. That's a drink for grammar. My attempt to comfort Iba may have sounded hollow, but I just couldn't bear to watch him blame himself. Hearing him speak so cruelly about himself broke my heart. Oh yes, good. That was the right one. Iba gave me a small smile, but there was still a shadow of loneliness over his expression. I knew perfectly well how he still felt. So much that wait, hold on, let me start that over. Yeah, I made an accident on the drinking game prompt, so I was like fixing that. I knew perfectly well how he still felt. So much so that I couldn't help feeling miserable. Okay, I'll save there because I actually did finish my drink. And we did make it to 2-hour runtime, so good. And it is pretty late, so I'll save right here. But yeah, I'm glad that we made it to the Edo Blossom section for Iba. Very interesting that it's like all new stuff on this route, like for here in Edo Blossoms, because it's like sometimes they'll play the same stuff for like at least the main guys, so it's like, let's skip past this. But most of this stuff isn't really skippable, so, or at least like if you want new stuff, so that's cool. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning into the stream. As always, love chatting with you guys and hanging out. If you're just watching, I'm always glad to be entertainment. It is Shin Megami Tuesday now, so we will have Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance as the stream for later today. But yeah, look forward to that. And Matanene, my dudes, thank you once again for tuning into the stream. As always, I love being entertainment, and if you're just watching, thank you. Thank you for sticking around and watching. But yeah, I'll catch you guys next time. Look forward to SMT5 Vengeance later today. And yeah, GG's. Take care, stay safe out there, and peace out.